1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. We are in Mexico. We are in Cozumel, and it's like an island. It's pretty close to Cancun, and so we're going to be taking off from there. We'll do a touch and go at Cancun, and then we're going to go to MMMD, Merida, and that's where our flight will end. So I'm kind of let's get the plane started, and so I'm running the reality expansion pack 172. So it kind of forces me to kind of make sure I do things correctly. So I flooded the engine already? Are you kidding me? Wow, okay. So we'll throttle to half, right the engine. So I want the mixture full lean. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Well, it looks like we got everything working okay. Now we turn the taxi light on. And so approach Ada's tower. Say active runway. Say active runway. Oh. It's important to have the avionics on. Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 05.
Okay. 05, I have that dialed in. So let's go look at the map. Alrighty, so 05 is pretty close to us. So I'll pull this over here for right now. Kind of see if we're going in the right direction. Going the right way here. Nope, looks like I gotta go this way. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to runway 05 via taxiways Bravo. Hold short runway 05.
Okay.
Taxi to runway 05 via taxiways Bravo. Hold short runway 05 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okay. Oh, I gotta go this way. Looks that way. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for departure.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 062 at 6 knots. QNH is 1016 cleared for takeoff. Runway 05.
Cleared for takeoff. 05 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Good. Hello, how are you? Hope all is well. Just starting my stream. We're flying in airport map. I use Navigraph. Alrighty. Whoops. Pay attention, Bill. Oh, I forgot to put the flight plan in. I was in such a hurry to take off. Oh, depends where you're flying. If you're flying in the United States, you can get free VFR maps, and then I use Avatab, and you can put them into Avatab. So those are free, but it depends on where you're flying. Okay, flight plan. Little knob. Cursor. And down. UN, that's the one. Oh, okay. Then I'm not sure. Okay, we gotta go up the coast, so if I spin around this way, I'll probably put myself, well, we'll see if I do or not. I may be going the wrong way. Yeah, I think I'm going the wrong way. Alrighty. We'll go back this way. Yeah, in Europe, it appears like there's not a lot of free stuff. It's kind of sad, but just the way it seems to be. So I pull the power back a little bit here. I haven't spent much time flying in Asia. Let's see here. Yeah, let me go out this way so I don't really, till I get high enough here. You're welcome. Oh, you're from Turkey? Really? Back in the early 70s, I was stationed with NATO forces in Izmir, Turkey. I was there for a year and a half. Great, great, great country. That's too cool. Yeah, trying to check some things. Yeah, I was there for like a year and a half, and so I got to it was We weren't at the air base. I was with field operations, forward operating base, and they. So it was out of Izmir. So we were not on the air base, but separate. Yeah, it was all signal group. It was all communications, and where I worked at. So I did microwave communication. So, but the barracks held about 30 people, and there were 300 people stationed there. So even single people like I was, they give you food and they give you housing so that you could, so you lived off base. So I lived in an apartment in Izmir. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I had a great time there. That was a lot of fun. I was young and didn't fully appreciate, didn't appreciate the culture of where I was. I didn't. Took me a while. Okay. So I think I got to go a little bit more here. Yeah, that's the impression I got. Also, kind of at the time. So this is Cozumel. So I'm kind of like liking like the scenery I'm seeing here. This is pretty nice. So I'm trying to get myself back on course here. I got to go out across this water. But yeah, the great thing was I got to go 30 or 35 years later. I got to go back, and so me and my girlfriend, we went back to Izmir, Turkey, and I stayed there for we were there about 3 or 4 days, and it was kind of funny. I actually got to see find my apartment that the last apartment that I lived in. So that was just so cool. So and I will have to say, some of the most hospitable people that I have ever met. Just my experience. Alrighty, so we're just about on. Yes, that was absolutely true. Alrighty, and give it a little more power. We'll see if we can get this guy to get on the flight plan. There you go. Okay. And I'm just going to set the altimeter right here, and I'll be good. So part of what I'm doing here is I'm using a scenery package called Total Mexico, and so basically Iceman has kind of like for all of Mexico, he has created tiles that basically improve the height maps, and also now since Explain 12.1.0 is bringing new water features that you can see, like over there, you can see the blue along the coastline and stuff, and it sounds like with let's see, it's going to be 12.1.2 that they're going to improve the color of the water. You know, that the water will be more closer to real life. So that's kind of what I'm showing off. So probably the flight, I'm thinking it's going to be 2 or 3 hours. We'll just have to see. Yeah. So what so of course I'm flying in VR. I have a physical yoke and pedals. So I have a Fulcrum 1 yoke, and I have MFG crosswind pedals. And so all of my other interaction, I use my VR controllers, my valve index controllers, and or I use voice command. So voice command allows me to like set altimeter, set comm frequencies. But generally, I find the controllers work well enough for pretty much everything that I can actually just use a VR controller. So it's kind of like a minimalist setup. So I live in a fairly small house, and so I don't have like a lot of space for like a full-blown cockpit and that stuff. So it is for me. It is for me. This headset here is called a Bigscreen Beyond. They're fairly new. I think they started shipping around November of 2023, and they still haven't quite caught up.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enjoy your morning. Frequency change approved.
They haven't quite caught up. So if you order one, it's about probably a couple of months wait. So but it's light. I mean, this thing weighs like just the headset weighs about 127 grams. As it's on my head right now with the audio strap, it's about 350 grams. The previous headset I had was a Vive Pro 2 that was modified to try to make it more comfortable, and it weighed 1,200 grams. So this weighs a little bit more than a third of the headset I used to wear. So, but yeah, I can fly for hours. I mean, 2-3 hours, yeah, that's a non-issue. So, some of the other headsets are way heavier, and also they stick off your face more. So the more weight you have on your face, the more that's tending to pull down. Now they do make straps and stuff to try to make it balance more on the top of your head, which improves that comfort, but it doesn't remove the weight. It's still there. So, but I've been flying in VR in X-Plane for, I think this coming Christmas will be 6 years. So I am extremely comfortable in VR. It is, and I fly the plane I learned how to fly in real life. I started learning on 172N, and during the time I was training, they migrated to 172 SPs. So one like this, where it's fuel injected, and so you don't have to worry about carb heat and all that stuff, you know. So it's the plane I'm most comfortable in. I can fly I have flown everything up to, say, like an Epic E1000, and that's a fast plane. So, but I am so happy with what the scenery looks like, and this is looking nice. So we're on our way to Cancun Airport. I'm gonna do a touch and go there, and then we'll. And my flight plan is to fly along the coastline. No, I fly GA exclusively, so I don't fly airliners. My flight sim philosophy is I fly planes that I could really fly in real life, and but I don't fly planes that I ride in. So I ride in airliners, but I don't fly them. So it's just my my personal philosophy for flight simulation. So it isn't like I haven't flown airliners. I have, and they are. It is a serious. I mean, it is. I'm surprised how. Not surprised, really. They are seriously complicated machines that take quite some time to just to get them to start. So before I got into VR, I actually still am. I'm the author of X-SATIC panels. So the SATIC panels, the radio panel, the multi-panel, the switch panel, and the backlight information panel. I am the author of X-SATIC panels. So, so basically, before I got into VR, I had all those panels, and when VR come out, I kind of like looked at it and went, if I really start to like this, these panels I won't be using. So that's how it ended up. So I still maintain the plugin. You know, lots of people use it, and not by me. I am the current head of development, but Kirsten Leichner created Plywood Lua, and because of some life choices that he made, he didn't have time to support it anymore. So he asked if I would take it over for him, and I have. So yes, if there's an issue with Plywood Lua, yeah, I'm the person that gets contacted. So most of the time, it's nothing to do with Plywood Lua. It generally would be there's rarely any bugs in Plywood Lua. People say, well, Plywood Lua broke. Well, no, Plywood Lua didn't break, but a script you use may have. And so that's kind of, so I always have to field the questions in that respect. It's kind of like, because when, especially when they went from like, say, 12.0.9 to 12.1.0, there was a bunch of scripts that broke, and had nothing to do with Plywood Lua. Plywood Lua was fine, because I use it every day. I mean, that's a Plywood Lua script, that's a Plywood Lua script, that's a Plywood Lua script, that's a Plywood Lua script. Every time I fly with Plywood Lua scripts. So there was nothing wrong with Plywood Lua, just some of the scripts people were using data refs that were not supported with 12.1.0. So but that's usually always the comment, well, Plywood Lua broke. You know, it's kind of like, well, no. No, that's not correct. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. How far we gotta go? I think Cancun's not too far away, so there's a lot more buildup on my previous flight to get to where I just took off from. Along the coastline and stuff, there was hardly any buildings and stuff. I see when I'm looking up through here, there's a lot more buildup. So pretty cool. And I tend to fly with real weather, just to kind of show off the clouds and stuff and how they look, and looking pretty good. Kind of looking a little strange, like along the bottom there. That may be right, but this seems seems pretty rigid. I mean, almost like it's a straight line on the bottom of them clouds. That seems odd to me, but it may be true. Not anymore. I find with X-Plane 12, real weather is real enough for me. I don't. My general philosophy is I don't try to add too much extra to X-Plane if the base X-Plane works okay for me. So that's kind of how I feel, and also being a VR pilot, I have to be careful that some things may work great on a 2D screen, but they don't work. They work very poorly in VR. So I always have to kind of look at that. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So that's basically what I'm running. So I have data rep tool, I have plane command, slew mode, VR tools, XPython, XUPIC. I use that for pilots to ATC, X checklist. That's I'm a co-author. Habitat, Plywood Lua, little XP Connect. I'm not so sure why I've got that in there. And then Sim Coders is because I have a reality expansion pack playing. But so that's where that's the plugins that I'm running. That I run every time I fly. So one of them there, I don't think I need. I'm trying to remember why I put it in there. Maybe it was to get little nav map to work. I think that might have been it, but I don't generally use it, so probably not necessary. Pretty cool. Let's see here. I can come over here and do this. Alrighty, it looks like I'm about 14 miles away from Cancun, so probably ought to put Cancun in. See if I can find a tower they're happy with. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Mike Uniform November is scattered. Visibility is 7 miles, winds are 102 at 7 knots, cloud coverage is 1,500 scattered. Current QNH is 1017. Temperature 31°.26.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 12 right, 12 left.
Okay. 12. Okay, 13 miles from Cancun. So when we get about 10 miles or so, maybe a little less, we'll take it up in autopilot and get ready to land. So when I get 10 miles out, I'll make a radio call to a tower and to what's the elevation? 20 feet. Okay. So I'll make a radio call to the tower and say I'm inbound to land. She should tell me to make left-hand traffic for in the downwind. So we'll have to figure that all out. So right now I'm at about 1,200 feet, so I'm a couple hundred feet above pattern altitude. So, but there isn't any mountains or anything, so get a better view of the scenery. So for scenery, I'm using X World America, and then I'm using Total Mexico version 3.0, and so that's kind of where all the buildings and all that stuff come from. So, and all is looking pretty nice. I'm pretty happy that I don't see really any shimmering or any of that. It looks quite nice. And just the sim in general just seems really, really smooth. So I've been, as a VR user, I've been happy with X-Plane 12. So other people not so much, but everybody runs the sim differently, and just the way I run it, it seems fine. So I use a utility called FPS VR, and that kind of like lets me know where my GPU frame times are and CPU. You can see the CPU is under 10, way under 10, and GPU's around 14 right now. But part of it is that it's rendering all the scenery and stuff, so that will have an impact on it. And so we're using a little bit more than half of my VRAM and maybe a third of my RAM Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf report left downwind for runway 12 right.
Will report left downwind for runway 12 right Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Alrighty. All we gotta do is find this airport. It's always fun. Because we got like a haze going on here. And at least I think it's haze. Let me look. Yep. I don't see any smoke. But it's so it's like 7 statute miles. So we got a pretty low deck here. So and because of that, that's kind of affecting the visibility. So it says you can see 7 statute miles, and so if I look right straight in front of me, I think I can see an airport environment. Sure looks that way. It's kind of funny how you're looking, and if I'm lower, if I'm at 2,000 feet, it'd probably be easier to see it. But that's fine. But you kind of have to look for an area that doesn't have anything. So you can see around here, you can see trees closer to me. Further away, you can see trees. So where that opening is, more than likely, that's going to be where the airport is. And when I'm looking, so I have my heading bug at 12, so the runway should be going like this. So we're probably close enough that, yep, we'll kick off the autopilot. So disconnect, hit the flight director, that kills it. And get rid of these. If I have these on when I'm in VR, if I grab it, then I'm gonna fight my physical yoke. So I tend to run them with them off. So I'm on a physical yoke. I'm touching it. It just isn't displayed in the sim. So let me look at something. Yep, that'd be good. Alrighty. So I'm thinking that if I just kind of keep coming ahead here, I'm gonna see that runway, and I haven't seen it quite yet, but it's 4.5 miles away, and what I did is I checked, and if I turn this way, the heading bug goes to the bottom. So basically right now I'm coming at 90 degrees to this runway, and I'm almost thinking that it's right there, but I may be misjudging it a little bit, but I'm high enough that I can, and she said 112 right. So there's two parallel runways here, and it will be the one on the right. So as I turn, it's gonna be, if that's left, then the other one's gonna be right. So but that's going to be different. Well, we'll see how we go here. Because when I'm going this way, left and right's going to switch. Okay. So this happens every once in a while. So what's going on is the weather, clouds, kind of come down, and they kind of affect my vision in VR. So I have this thing that when I move my head, there's like something attached to my headset, and when I move it, it goes with that. So, alrighty. So that I don't think is a runway. Well, it might be. It might be. It says 2.6, so I'm not there yet. That's interesting. That's certainly a runway there. So I'm gonna go by the airport, and then I gotta figure something out here. I gotta figure out which one's left and right, because when I go, when I turn around, left and right's gonna reverse. So, but we're high enough. I'm like 1,500 feet. So airport elevation's 20. So I'm about 500 feet above pattern right now. And my guess is if that is left and right, then that's gonna flip. So over there will be right. We'll see if I guessed right. So it's doing everything kind of slow here. It's no sense in being too fast. So this is Cancun, Mexico Airport. Yeah, clouds are looking a lot better now. They were looking a little weird before. Alrighty. So we'll get out past the airport a little bit, and then we'll make like a 180 and try to figure out left and right. Pretty sure that right's gonna be over there. So. But since I'm up in elevation, I can go out here a little ways and I can turn and I can get set up for the downwind. So, but I'll be out far enough I can change runways if I need to. Okay. Ooh, that was a pretty big stutter. Alrighty. Whoops. Let me think about this a minute. Nope. I've done this approach wrong. I'm gonna come in like this. Yeah. I've done the approach wrong. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll figure it out. I did. Give me a couple of minutes here to kind of figure out what I'm doing wrong here. I've messed up my approach. So I should see a 1-2 down here. I got to figure out if it's right or left. Okay. All right. That's 1-2 right, and that's what I've been cleared to land on. Okay, got it. Yes, I did. This headset has spoiled me. Any headset that weighs too much more than this headset is, what's the right, how to say this? It just seems too heavy. It just seems too heavy. Visuals were great. I mean, the visuals. I didn't really get a wow factor out of it. Okay, the visuals weren't wow for me. I'm running a pretty high-end headset already. I'm running mine is 2580 by 2580. The VR1 is 2880. So it's a pretty high-end headset. What I don't know though is what resolution were they actually running the headset at? Because they had a Sim Connect thing, and they were running a resolution reduced. So is there a chance that the resolution was actually less than what I run right now? Because right now I'm running 3000, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, 2980 by 2980. So I'm running almost 3000. So it just didn't have the wow factor. And so let me see if I get all this kind of figured out right. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go out here a little bit. I don't have to go out too far. Yeah, it was I wouldn't call it disappointing, not at all. Like I said, this headset has spoiled me. I know what's possible, and the other thing to kind of think about is when you have all these like high-end, high-res headsets, man, if you ain't got a GPU that can drive them, you're kind of wasting it. So, alrighty, I'm gonna teardrop out a little bit, and then kind of spin around here. Probably got to get rid of some altitude. And I'll be set up for the downwind, you know, and that's kind of, you know, so that's kind of relevant, you know, I mean, and it's something that I don't think is talked about enough, you know, is how, because I taste high-end headsets, so I'm kind of, I'm looking for high res, but also I'm running a 4090 with like an i9 13900K, so I'm running high-end stuff, so. Alrighty, so this would be, let me make sure here. Yeah, okay, I'm good. So this will be downwind for runway 12 right. So I'm gonna do a touch and go here. So it took me a little while to kind of figure out where I was, so that's fine. It's all part of the fun. Trying to get yeah, I'm I will have to admit that come on, let's get slowed down here. I will be buying a 5090 when they come out. I can just say that right up front. Alrighty, that's a little better. I was over 100. I was like, that's way too fast. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 12 right. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, report left downwind for runway 12 right.
Will report left downwind for runway 12 right. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 12 right. Come on, dear. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 12 right.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Kenken Tower on 118.1, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 12 right.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, QNH is 1017, call turning final for runway 12 right.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 102 at 7 knots, cleared for the option runway 12 right.
Cool.
Cleared touch and go runway 12 right. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okay, we got all that out of the way. I seem a little low, and I think I am. Alrighty. There's the runway. 1 knots of flaps. I think I'm far enough away. We'll find out pretty quick here. Quit pulling up, Bill. I have a tendency to pull up when I make these turns. And the airspeed kind of drops like a rock. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 102 at 7 knots, cleared for the option runway 12 right.
Cleared touch and go runway 12 right Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So I used the reality expansion pack, and it sounds like when they released 12.1.0 that they messed up the ground effect. So I am too fast. So we'll see if this goes any better. See if I can get in the ground effect here. Oh yeah, that's way better. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. Need some power? Easy, Bill. Easy, easy, easy. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was way, way, way better. When I was doing the landings on my previous stream, I was trying to figure. I actually been a prop. I've never been a prop, and because I actually tipped the plane over, and I was like, what is wrong with this? And then I was reading the forums and kind of like, oh, okay, well that makes all kinds of sense. So I was kind of, this is the first landing I've done with the, since Claudio fixed it. So, yeah, that was, and I wanted to do that. I didn't want to force it down. I just wanted to run out of airspeed, just play around with my yoke. I got a great yoke, I mean, where I could kind of play around and just see how it goes. And that was perfect. So I did what I wanted to do. Long landing, yes, but I come in over the numbers at 85 knots, so I was way too fast, but I knew this is a big airport and a real long runway. So alrighty, let me see if I'm going to go the right way here. Yeah, looking that way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that felt way better. I mean, you know, because I was like, man, you got like a really, really nice yoke. This shit, you shouldn't have this much trouble landing an airplane. So, but that would explain what it was. So. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing clearance. Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Kenkin Tower on 118.1, go ahead.
Cancel landing, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Nah, she didn't listen. I haven't figured out with Pilots ATC how to get it to cancel. So I've done a touch and go, and if I don't do something about it, then trying to get on course here. Then when I go up here, it'll the tower will tell me to get back on tower frequency. So it's like, alrighty, I think I'm close enough. AP now. And I haven't figured out the phraseology to, I haven't figured out the phraseology to cancel it, so. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing intentions. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing intentions. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing. Oh, what am I gonna do? Everything okay here? Yeah, it looks okay. I'll be on course pretty soon. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf requests VFR departure. Didn't like any of them. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf at request VFR departure. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. It really doesn't like me right now. That's hilarious. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. yeah, it can be. I'm kind of tempted to try say intentions. Yeah, it's money, but it's kind of like I'm just kind of. I think I want to try it. Whoops. That was no good. Like I heard something like I'm kind of going like, what is going on here? Yeah, let's do this. All right. I heard this really, really faint noise, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? All right. Are you liking it? And probably the other question is, have you used Pilot to ATC before? And do you think it's better? That's enough questions. Okay, I think I'm back under control. Okay, good. That's kind of what I'm looking for. The money is not isn't relevant. I mean, yeah, it's a subscription, but it's artificial intelligence, and you got to pay for it. Got it. If it's better, and I can get it to match where I fly, that would be great. Got it. Yeah. I think it'd be worth it for me to probably try it for, get it for a couple of months and actually just use it. Don't use Pilot to ATC anymore, just use it and see how it goes. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, you know? That's exactly what I'm seeing, so. because of the way I fly, I need some kind of ATC that kind of matches what I do, and VetSim or that stuff just doesn't seem to match what I want to do. So some kind of artificial ATC is the answer, and from what I looked at with say intentions, it really did look like it would be a good fit. So I mean, I have a Navigraph subscription, so you know, there's no difference really, you know. So, and you're paying for the server, so that's what it is. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that is cool. So you're using Total Mexico too then? Oh, that is even cooler. Okay. Okay, all right. So you're using 3.0 then? Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, that takes a little bit of time to do that, so. That seems like a strange course change, but well, I was probably trying to get myself to kind of go up the coast here. Well, maybe not. I'm not sure what's going on. Huh. Sometimes when I look at this map, I get confused. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. When I see this other magenta line, I'm thinking it's part of my flight plan, but it's not. It's something else. I don't know why they're using. If it's like marking like something, airspaces or something, you would think it'd pick a different color than magenta, but because every once in a while I look at it and go, what am I gonna do? Like cross back over my flight plan? I'm sure I didn't make it that way. So, but I see it's not. So, yeah, I think I'll have to do that. Yeah, so back to the VR1. Yeah, they were using it in DCS, so I don't use DCS, so I didn't know. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, because that's, I mean, as you see on the screen, that's kind of what I do is, so generally, if I can, it depends on whether I can find, down here I'm having sometimes hard times finding an airport in the middle, or the stream that gets too long, and so that's kind of what I do, but I also always want to do a pattern. So in other words, if I come in, I want to do a downwind, a base, and a final. And generally, a middle airport will be a touch and go. So that's kind of how I want to do that. And hopefully, say intentions can accommodate that. So that's kind of what how I want to use it. So, hello, where are you going? But on the VR1, yeah, so they were using it. It was in DCS, and and it was with a joystick, and so all things that I'm not as comfortable with as what. It's, okay, yeah, I'm kind of thinking that. What we got? 17. 303. I'm pretty close. So when I was trying it, you know, everything looked, like I said, it wasn't a wow thing. I mean, yeah, the stuff was clear. Yeah, okay. But the stuff in here is clear too. So it's like, so I didn't get that wow factor. So it's kind of neat. I watched, they had like a, what's that called? Sim Connect? No. They had something in Prague, and they were showing off the VR1. They were showing off a couple of other things, and so I did watch that, and it's so interesting to watch different people when they try out a headset. I mean, some people are. It's like when you try out a new headset, you have to go, wow, that's the best thing I've ever seen. And then other people are kind of like, no, it's okay, but it's not, you know, it doesn't have the wow factor. And but it was like my first experience with a crystal was at Sim Expo last year. And I didn't get any wow factor at all. I mean, I actually, and I told Josh, the guy that was there, I says, I think my Vive Pro 2 actually looks better. And his response was pretty much priceless. It was kind of like, I think you must have the IPD wrong. Okay, well, help me fix it. And so I adjusted it to the right IPD. And I tried to do a pattern, and I was having a heck of a time just trying to see the runway clear enough to actually do a pattern. And I'm like, this is no good, you know. I mean, so. But I also think at those kind of events, you don't have enough time to make sure you've got it on your face right. You just don't have enough time, and I think that has an influence over that. So on how what your impressions might be. Must be taking a shortcut. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. I mean, so I started off with a Vive, an original Vive. So I had a Vive, had a Vive Pro, had a Valve Index, had HP Reverb G2. I've had a Vive Pro 2, and I've had a Pimax 8KX. So I've had a lot of headsets. So, and always trying to chase the next higher res headset, and the G2, I just had tracking issues. The headset itself was fine, but I just had tracking, mostly controller tracking issues. So any other thing, if I tried to use it at night, I'm trying to remember. I think that they use visible LEDs, visible photo receivers, and so if I used it when it was too dark in the house, then I would have headset tracking problems. So, and I've been using lighthouse tracking for a long time. So that's kind of my standard, and if it doesn't meet that, then that's a problem. So, trying to figure out why I picked this particular path. Oh, I must have had a reason. It seems like we got a ways to go. I think I finally got the power set right. It was like either too much power or not enough power. Yeah, 2200, that's about right. About 100 knots, that's fine. It's amazing how many like bays and lakes and that kind of stuff there is along the coast there of Mexico. I gotta jump outside. I'm sure the plane's okay. Yeah, it looks okay. So most of it looks pretty good. And like I said, about 2 more decimal releases. Sounds like they're going to do something to kind of improve the color of the water. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see as that gets released. So. Like how many bays are just everywhere, and some like peninsulas and stuff. That's pretty slick. Yeah. I think Michael. I think Michael that does the WED editor. I think he mentioned it. Pretty cool. But all in all, I've been quite happy. So need that. Guess I got to go back and check Microsoft Flight Simulator. I talked to Jorg about VR controllers and on how how poorly they work in Microsoft Flight Simulator and at Flight Sim Expo this year. And I had talked to him last year about exactly the same thing, and nothing changed. So I talked to him, and I was kind of like waiting my turn. There was a couple of people in front of me, and just waited my turn, and he looks and he goes, "I think we met before." And I says, "We certainly have." And so I told him that the issue is like here, if I like grab a hold of the throttle, and I pull down on the trigger and I pull it back a little bit. So I basically moved it about 50 RPM. You can easily do that in X-Plane. You can't do that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you try to do the same thing, you'll move and you move your controller, nothing. Move your controller, nothing. Maybe do it one more time, and you're moving your controller and there's no response. And then all of a sudden it'll change 25%. It's kind of like, on a throttle you can kind of get away with that, but on trim that's just going to be a little too entertaining. On a trim wheel, it's way entertaining. On a trim wheel, by the time it finally moves, you may be nose down or nose up. I mean, it'll go that far. If on the other hand you use your mouse and move it with your mouse, it's perfect. You can move it 50 RPM easy, but you can't do it with the VR controller. So not this year, but last year I asked York. I says, do you use I heard you use VR, and he goes, yeah. And I says, so do you use a VR controller or do you use a mouse? And he goes, well, I use a mouse. And I go, it shows. I says, if you used a VR controller, you would see the problem, and I would think you'd fix it. So he assured me that he would. So I said to him, like, at least for 2024, can you at least fix this? He goes, that should be fixed in 2020. And I'm like, okay. So I haven't went back and checked yet, but I'll wait for a release or for an update or two and see if they've actually fixed it. So, because for me, the way I fly, that's just, I can't. I mean, because I use my VR controllers to adjust all that stuff. So, well, hello, Allison. How are you doing? Welcome to my stream. Hopefully I don't make you too sick in VR. We are flying in Mexico. We are flying along the, let me think a minute, along the east coast of Mexico. We just did a touch and go at Cancun. And where are we going next? MD. Merida? We're going to Merida. They can be a challenge. Sometimes they go uneventful and other times not so much. So I try to, when I do upgrades probably way differently than most people. I will always have a complete computer that is what I'm daily using. And then when I do upgrades, I basically start with a video card, and then I buy a case that fits it, and buy CPU to match, and RAM. And so I completely build a brand new computer that I can take my time getting it up and running before I replace my daily computer. So it's not the cheapest way to do things, but it is how I have chosen to do things, partly because I fly in VR and demand good hardware. Oh, no doubt. Oh, yeah. DDR5, yeah. Yeah, that yeah, the way that works, yeah, that seriously sucks. No question about it. So, and if it's generally the computer that you're using, that you're just upgrading, that it sucks even more. So. Not so sure what's going on in front of me. Okay, yes. That is a bummer. So for some reason, the shorelines don't look as good as they did before. Up there, they look kind of good. So we'll see. We'll see what I get when I go up there. And if I'm over this way, I'll jump out of the flight plan and go over there and see what that looks like. So. Yeah, there's some serious artifact going on there. Not sure if that's in the... You never know when you're in VR. Like, sometimes you see really weird things that you kind of go like, yeah, that don't look right. And like right in front of me, out probably at least 4 miles, maybe 5, there's kind of like a shimmering going on. Don't know what that is, but it isn't what I normally would see. If I look over like this way, I don't see that at all. But it's like where this white part is comes wrapping around. It's kind of like shimmering, so it's kind of odd. But this looks about right. So when I look over here, you know, you can kind of see, you know, where it's deeper here. So the turbidity of the water, you can't see through it. But as you get closer to the shore, you know, then you can actually see through the water and you see what's underneath it. So this isn't too bad. So I think I'm gonna I'm gonna jump off the flight plan and go a little sightseeing. So I want to see what this coast here looks like. To see where my trim's on that. I got a fix coming up, so I can go along this and then get back on the fix. So where am I at? So I'm about 1,100 feet. So about level. Yeah, good about level. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to see what this looks like out here. So. Because my flight plan had me a little further inland. Yeah. I kind of like what this looks like. Yeah. That's what a beach should look like, and as you're depending on how deep the water is here, as it gets deeper, if you're flying. So we're flying like about 900 feet above the water. So as it comes out, you're going to be able to see through you're going to see out what's underneath the water for a ways. But as it comes out further and deeper, then you're not going to be able to do that anymore. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Must have been diving. I was looking at airspeed kind of climbing. I'm like, oh yeah, you're diving. Okay. So we'll come up here a little bit. Looks like after the fix, yeah, well. Yeah, that's making sure it transitioned. It did. Okay. Yeah, and see up through here, you can see the blower. So I assume that must be, is that coral maybe? You know, would make it look that color. So yeah, let me set my altimeter to 1,000. Yeah, I should have enough power. I'll be okay. Oh. Allison, did you get a chance to check out the sodium space VR1? I have to. I will say that is true. I can't say much more than that. Oh, okay. You didn't try it out though? Because the flightsim.com and the sodium space VR1. Those were two things I had to try out. So one I'm pre-ordering the yoke, but the VR1, nah, happy with my Beyond. Yeah, that is a problem. I understand that. I'm pretty, after having this for, trying to think when I have it. I got it in November, so I've had my Beyond for quite a while. The IDEO strap come in April of this year. And I have to admit that the resolution, I'm gonna jump up. So I just want to look at these buildings. So all this like looks like really, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing here. So you can see out there, you can see the mast of the sailboat. Some of them are sailboats, some of them are not. But this looks pretty nice. So in the same way as we're coming up along the shore here, you know, you can actually see, you know, like this. In the same way, you can see all them different boats down there on that pier, and this looks nice. I'm so happy. But so I'm running, like, my headset's like 350 grams, so it is light. And it oh, cool. I think mine's the what is it? The Indigo. That's what my group is, and so I think I'm probably a couple of weeks out. So, because he did a firmware. He found some problems with the firmware, and so they kind of waited the shipping of the 100 or 200, I can't remember, of Indigos. Oh, really? Because I'm like 7. So that's interesting. I haven't heard anything yet, so. But I know that it was because of the firmware that he's updating them before he ships them out, so. You're closer than I don't know if you are or not. So did you pick the fast shipping or the slow shipping? Oh, okay. I did too. I feel I want mine to go fast or slow. It isn't really like cheap and costly, because they're both costly. So fast. Okay. Me too. Yeah, mine was 230 to the U.S. the East Coast of the U.S. So fast. Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, that's what that's what I thought. I thought you were in the UK. I never like to assume. I interact with a lot of people, both streaming and Discord and forums. You know, so it's sometimes hard to keep all the screen names and locations kind of straight. So. Yeah, it's been a few years ago now that we were in England. We were based kind of in London, and ended up spending some time in London, and then we went up to Holyhead, and took the ferry across to Ireland, and then we come back to we flew out of Dublin to Glasgow, and from Glasgow we took a train to Edinburgh, and we got to see the tattoo in Edinburgh. That was just cool. That was glad we did that. So that was so cool. It was something my girlfriend has wanted to see for a long time, and we finally got it done. Pretty happy with what I'm seeing. You have some like funky looking polygons and stuff, but in general it's quite realistic. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, what we normally do is we'll pick a city, and on this particular trip we didn't, but we'll normally like pick a city, and then in Europe, and then we'll figure out a train route that basically makes a circle. So we'll basically circle around and then come back to the same city we arrived at about 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks later, and then we'll fly back home. So that the air flight, you know, is kind of spread out across the month, so it doesn't. So kind of in your head, you kind of think it's not that bad, you know, but you spent a good chunk of time in Europe, but the whole time you're in Europe, you're using a train, not a plane. So, and I figured out like how, how the trains work in different countries and all that stuff. So, and that is such a convenient way to travel. I can't believe how cool that is. So, we've been to about 30 European countries. So a couple of them were countries that I have friends that I went to, would be Germany, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic, that I had friends. Also Italy. My girlfriend had a friend there that basically our first trip to Europe was because of him. He said, if you come in the right time of the year, you can use my, he called it a villa. It was like an apartment that overlooked the Med. And so he said you can use it. And kind of like, okay, so we don't have to pay for a hotel for like 9 days. That was pretty cool. And so every other day we would be on an excursion by ourselves. And the other days he would take us on an excursion. So it was just a great time. He had to teach us how to use trains and all that good stuff. It was hilarious. But it was a lot of fun. A big learning experience. Okay. Much more we gotta go. We got ways to go yet, I think. Yep. Yeah, so not much going on this flight, just kind of doing some sightseeing. So I've been trying to keep the flight path kind of following the shoreline, so it takes way longer than if I was going direct. So, but it's just something I wanted to do. So, and it's amazing how in certain parts of Mexico there's like not much. I mean, like you look here, whether these are, like farm fields or whatever, you don't know. But as far as like buildings and stuff, there's not much. So it's kind of interesting just how it is. So let me see. So if I pull up this one, let me back off a little bit. So you can kind of see where we are in Mexico. So we are at Cancun, and we're just going around here, and we're going to Moderna in the end. So, hello, Iowa Scotsman. How are you doing? So we're getting close, but we're not there yet. So I'll zoom a little bit. So when I fly in VR, I have the reason I can have, like say, Pilot to ATC. What else I got in here? Oh, the chat window. I use a program called OVR Toolkit, and it allows me to take windows from my desktop and bring them into the VR space. So yeah, I've been at it for a bit. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get this one done. I was about 3 hours yesterday, so glad I have a VR headset that doesn't bother me, so I can do this. But that allows me to like bring Windows, desktop Windows into the VR space. So Pilot to ATC is one of them, like chatty Windows. So. So I put 4 hours of fuel in. We'll have to see how this goes. Looks like I may have a problem. Oh well. I thought this one was going to be long. My next one scheduled is going to be quite a bit shorter, so. Because I basically picked some airports and then put waypoints in to kind of stay on the shoreline, but not realizing how much more time that takes, so. I'm going to detour. Hey, go over and look at this town. Yeah, let's bring up, just interesting, just the way the land is here, you know, where you have just that big strip of land there. Let's see, is it trimmed up good enough? Yeah, pretty close. Reasonably level point. Looks like that's got to be a lighthouse there. Yeah. Pretty neat. Another town coming up here? Looks that way. The only thing I don't like about flying outside the plane is I don't have any gauges, so it's hard to, it's really, really hard to judge in that third person where your altitude is, or you're climbing, diving, you know. You can usually tell by listening to the plane, you know, but it's still, I'm apprehensive, you know. It is kind of amazing, like how spread out the towns are. That's, I really didn't expect that. I don't know why. I just didn't. But also, I didn't realize how big Mexico is. Because when, excuse me, when 12 point, I'll jump, I'll go across this town. When 12.1.0 public beta got released, I wanted to pick a scenery package where I could kind of show that on. So yeah, you can see like the boats and stuff on the piers and stuff. And you can see like the masts and stuff with the sailboats and stuff. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. And so originally I was going to use Orbit's True Earth Great Britain. And but the only problem was that at that point in time they had only released the North, and they hadn't released Central or South. And so I was waiting, and nothing. And so I gotta get myself centered. So I happened to stumble across Total Mexico, and kind of went. So I kind of looked at it, and I seen some screenshots of what Iceman had done on what the shorelines and stuff looked like, and it looked really, really nice. So I decided instead to move down here, and so I started flying down here before I went to excuse me, before I went to Flight Sim Expo. I started flying down here. So now I'm kind of just right now, because of it was that version, Total Mexico is 2.5, but it didn't have all the water features and stuff along the shorelines. And so once release candidate come out for 12.1.0, then he released Total Mexico 3.0, and that has all this stuff. So a lot of it, so it looks a lot better than what when I originally started flying here. So. And I've been pretty happy with what I've seen. So. So as long as the scenery is a representation of yeah, I didn't have, the only one I had was Great Britain, and I never had the other one. So yeah, I'm not sure what the time frame for that stuff is, because all the stuff they do, it does look pretty nice. So But it just seems like, I mean, like this part, you know, you had some towns back there, but I mean, they just kind of go in between the towns. There's just a lot of openness. So, yeah. What is that symbol? Oh, okay. Hello, Downwind. How are you doing? I haven't seen you streaming in quite some time. Good to see you. We're just hanging out in Mexico doing some sightseeing. Oh, that's right. You're flying in one of them fancy jet planes, aren't you? Tough life. Occasionally. I'm happy. I am really, really, really happy. So, of course, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere right now, but I'm along the coast of Mexico, and that's kind of what I'm doing with my Bigscreen Beyond. So, yeah, it's doing good. So, yep, really, really, really happy. So. And resolution, let me look here a minute. Get back over here. Comes next. So 2980 by 2980. So I'm super sampling the headset just a little bit. And so native is 2580 by 2580, somewhere's around there. So I'm super sampling it a little bit, but at least here, and even if I get over like a pretty big town and stuff, nah, it's still, I'll still maintain 37, you know, so I'm good. And everything, I mean, the Beyond has allowed me to fly glass cockpit, so that was kind of, I was hoping that would be true, and it has been. That, you know, that everything in this cockpit is like clear, you know, in the same way is I can like look up at this placard and I can read all of this small text with this headset. So it's kind of like, okay, I've found enough resolution. So, and that's kind of what it's all about. Is the resolution of the headset you're using, is it good enough for you on how you want to fly? And some people fly analog gauges, and you can get by with less resolution. But if you want to fly glass, then all these little text makes it more difficult. Yeah, so I'm flying Cessna 172 default with the reality expansion pack. And I streamed 2 days ago, and I was having a heck of a time landing. I'm like, I got this nice yoke. I mean, I should be able to land better than I did. Well, it turns out that going from, let's see, 0.9 to 1.0, they changed something with the, with the ground effect and stuff. So, so when you come into land, you couldn't ever flare really. I mean, you could, but it wasn't the same. So, so Claudio made some changes to the latest beta version of Reality Expansion Pack for the 172, and it is night and day different. I did a touch and go at Cancun, and I was coming in, I was too fast. I was about 85 across the numbers, and I'm like, okay, well, we got a long runway here, just let it ride. And so I was able to kind of just move the yoke back and forth and just let it bleed off the speed, and flared it, you know, like where I needed to be. Nice landing, and kind of like went, okay, this is how I remember it. So I've been pretty happy with that, but it's kind of amazing they make that kind of change that would make that dramatic of a change. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big version change too, so maybe that's just the way it is. So. Yeah, 2. Well, actually 3. We'll start with the 2 that I went there, not went there for, but things I was looking for. So I pre-ordered the FlightSim.com force feedback yoke, and I'm part of the Indigo group, and I'm like number 7 of 100. And I found out that not only was they going to be there, but the actual developer was going to be there. So I got to meet him. He is great. He is funny, and so the company's from he's from Singapore, and so I got to try it out. Oh yeah, I'll be extremely happy. So I got to try out I bought a CLS 60, so it's 60 newtons of force. So for all the GA aircraft I fly, it'll be fine. And so I got to try that out there. That was cool. And the other thing I wanted to try out is Sodium Space. Try and look over here. No, don't see much. Maybe a bay. Sodium Space had their VR1 there, but they only had one. So so you had to kind of like reserve a spot. And so I tried it out. And I have to say that this headset has spoiled me as to what is possible in this form factor. Now, people, so I got to try it, and I mean, so my headset with the audio strap is about 350 grams. The Sodium Space VR1, the one I was trying, was probably about 925. So almost, not quite 3 times more weight. And it sticks way off your face. So and the strap they had was not ideal. So you had this heavy thing kind of weighing down on the front of your face. And so the visuals in it were good. Not a wow factor for me, but they were good. I mean, they were as clear as this, maybe a little bit clearer, but not much. But I was in DCS, so it would be hard for me to kind of compare, because it's not a sim I was using. So I got to use it for probably 5 minutes, something like that. And I just kind of, it was kind of like, I'm glad I got a chance to try it. And it wasn't like, wow, I got to get that. It was more like, no, I'm pretty happy where I am. So the third thing that happened that basically unplanned is Laminar Research did who was it? FS Elite did an interview with the Laminar Research team, and so who was up there? Ben was up there, Thompson was up there, Philip was up there, and Austin was up there. So they were interviewing all of them. So I was with Lee Baker, and but Lee, about that time, he went to go get something to eat, and so I just sat down in the row in the chairs, and all of a sudden, Sydney just sits down alongside of me. so all during the presentation, we're chatting back and forth, just about development and all that stuff. So it was like. It was just so much fun. It was like, and Sydney is just, his humor I enjoy. Not all people do, but I do. And so it was just a blast. So, and so you could kind of like when they would say something, you kind of go, how's that work? Yeah, and you could get a detailed explanation right there. So it was funny. So that was great. So it was good. He is. Yes, he is. He absolutely is. So also got to interact with quite a bit of the Laminar team. So I had met Marco when from the on the Laminar team at when we went up to Montreal, and but I got him confused with Marco from X-Craft, I think it is. I may have it wrong, but I got those two confused, and then I went, oh wait a minute, no, you're the Marco that did MIDI control, and he goes, yeah, and I went, oh okay, but I got to interact with a lot of the team, and that was really cool, to kind of spend some time, and I would to be able to like ask questions and as best they could answer, because I was kind of curious, and I got to ask Ben this, is because they've done this new numbering scheme, it's kind of a little people aren't quite fully grasping how it actually worked. So, and then kind of, because I was kind of asking like for certain things, like where down the pipeline is that, and what I didn't realize is that I thought that they were going to go, okay, so 12.1.0-rc-2 is now non-beta. It's not, I wouldn't ever call it anything final, but explain it's non-beta. So what's going to be next? Is it going to be 12.2? No, it's not. So it's going to be 12.1.1 or .2 or .3. So you're going to have some iterations of 12.1. You're going to have some iterations of that as they add features, fix bugs, that kind of stuff. So that was made much clearer to me. So you better have a better understanding when somebody says what the number is of an upcoming feature, you kind of get a better handle on how far away that is. So that was enlightening. So. But just all the hardware that was there was just crazy. Because like Wings was there, and man, they had a lot of hardware there, and that looked pretty cool. But the way I fly in VR, I'm kind of any panels, like a G1000 or any of that stuff. That's great, but I can't see them. so they're not interesting to me. So. I have not. I was at the booth and I had the opportunity to try it, but I did not. I kind of think I'm using Pilot to ATC, and I'm not real happy. every once in a while it just does not seem to work. So I think I'm going to try to get either try the free trial or just get it for a couple of months and see how it works. And because I'd like to find something different than Pilot to ATC. If it's a subscription, it's AI, that's fine. That's what has to happen. So yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me. So yeah, I have to do this. So yeah, that'll be my next thing to do. So because like I said, I've been using Pilot to ATC for a while, and I always am running a beta version of it, and it just lets me down a few too many times. So I'd like something else. Yeah, that probably is true. But I did try, what is that thing called? Cheerly? Oh, there's some windmills. A whole bunch of them, actually. Yeah, so we're talking like about anti-aliasing and stuff. I mean, when I look down through here, I see hardly any shimmers. When I'm looking at the cars, they're smooth. When I'm looking here, it's all smooth. And in the same way, like when I look over there at those blades, those look pretty nice. So, you know, so I am kind of happy where we are. I always think we could probably improve anti-aliasing a lot, but what I'm seeing through this headset is, I'm happy. I mean, I'm really happy. Because like when I look at them blades come around, I don't see any shimmer at all. I mean, they're just the blades, so that's pretty slick. So, and that's where you would see it. You would see it in the post. Don't see it. You would see it in the blade as they're spinning around, and I don't. They look quite nice to me, so they're a pretty good sized windmill farm here. Pretty cool. And then the other thing I'm looking at here is just the shorelines, how the water and all that stuff looks up here, coming up to the shore and stuff. Yes, I will have to do that. Yeah, who did that? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's also like an AI thing. Who the heck did it? It's one of the beta developers. What's called Shirley or something like that, and that was interesting also. So. I guess I have to get it now. Yeah, I think I'll probably get it for like a couple. First, I'll try the free one. And then after that, then I'll probably get it for a couple of months. But from what everybody's telling me, I guess I'll probably like it. So, and the fact that it seems like they're constantly developing it, that's cool too. I mean, so that's a very good thing. So. Because I do my Navigraph as an annual subscription, so I'll probably end up doing the same. Cool, cool. Whoops, that didn't look good. All of a sudden the shoreline was one in and out, in and out, in and out. Cool, cool. Yeah, because something like that would better match how I personally like to fly, so. Yep, that's covered. Oh no. Oh no. No, that's fine. Wow. Oh my word. So an SSD, I assume? Okay. I think in the computer I'm running right now, I think I have 3. So that I can kind of break up, so I can put Microsoft Flight Simulator on one, X-Plane on another. But for all my ortho stuff, that's on a spinner. That's on a spinner drive. Oh, okay. Ooh. So I'm just kind of looking at the cars, truck, and just looking. So it's, we're kind of cruising along here. I mean, everything, that looks nice. So smooth. Definitely want to look at the VOD and make sure that that the stream is actually presenting this as I'm seeing it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I find it works way better. Yeah. Oops. Not there. Yeah, because like total Mexico is about, oh boy, maybe 600 gigs or something like that. Pretty big. Because it's all ortho. Basically, it's ortho for XP tiles, so. Well, are we going to have enough fuel? I think so. Yeah. I may get a low fuel indication, but I think I'll make it. Let's see. We got about 39 miles to go, and I'm still, my fuel gauge is still in the green, so I'm thinking I'll be fine. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, I'll be okay. Yeah, so when I get done with the stream, I gotta run over to the store and pick up some milk, and then I think I'm gonna make a little video about how to set up valve index controllers in X-Plane with OpenXR. I've got one user that's having a little problem getting his to work again. He did a reinstall and it still wasn't working right for him. So I figured I'd do a video, kind of show how I do it. Hopefully help out some people. It's with let's see. Yeah, we can do that. On autopilot. Should be okay. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. I want to go here. Okay. So on X-Plane, if you use the OpenXR, then you have for the valve index controllers, you have a left and a right, and But if you don't use OpenXR, what it just says is index controller. And but when you, so let me select this. So the default will be like this. So this button will say, now I've actually changed this. Button 5 left. Yeah, let me go to right. Yeah. So the default, back to left. So the default, this will be do nothing. 2 will be our menu button. 5 will be the same. But so on my left, okay. So if I squeeze my left, you see that highlights. And and then that's a thumbstick. So if I push that down, that's that. And then of course the trigger's this. So when it goes so far up, then it turns that on. And by default, 2 and 5 are the same. So get back out of here. Come on. Oh. Hello. I'm like, come on. I'm like, I was like, I got stuck in the settings screen. I couldn't get back out. And but he was having trouble getting them to work, and I'm just not sure exactly why. So so I think I'm gonna make a video, you know, to kind of go over that. So because for X-Plane 11, the valve index, even though these controllers have a left and a right, as far as X-Plane was concerned, they didn't. So it was just a roll of the dice whether your right controller. So when you push the button on your right controller, it would just say valve index controller, valve index controller. So it was just kind of a roll of the dice which one was actually your right and your left. So when OpenXR come out, I was talking to Chris, Serial, and if we could fix that. And he says, yeah, with OpenXR, we can fix that. And I went, oh, okay. So we went through a couple of iterations before we finally got it actually working correctly. And because originally when I enabled OpenXR with the command line, my controllers didn't work at all. so it took a little while to kind of figure out what was wrong, and he gave me a couple of test builds that were some more debug info, and finally got it to work. So that's how it is now. So. And for some reason, when originally the valve index, so it used to be like valve index XR left, and then valve index XR right. Well, if you look in the joystick configurations now, the XR isn't there anymore. There is a valve index left and right, but there isn't any XR associated with the file name. So I'm not sure when that got changed, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. It all works, so. Okay, about ready to make our last turn to our last airport, finally. It all went quite well, and quite happy with what I've seen and what everything looks like. So we got about 28 miles to go, or 15 minutes, so soon we'll be done. Yeah, when I planned these first two out, I had no idea how long they would really take, because just how I did it, kind of just making custom waypoints along the shoreline. So. But I wanted to fly it on autopilot. Normally I try to hand fly, but I wanted to fly it on autopilot so I could spend more time kind of looking at the scenery and stuff. So. It's normally my flight plans are, I normally like to make them 3 airports, and but I'm finding here in Mexico it's a little bit harder to the airports seem to be, well, there's less of them, and so that makes it more difficult to actually pull that off. So you have to fly quite a bit further to accomplish that. So. And if you fly further, then the stream just gets longer and longer. So, but so I've been streaming for, well, I've been in VR for basically 2 hours and 42 minutes. So, and I normally start my stream, I start up VR before I actually start the stream, usually by 15 or 20 minutes. So So the actual stream will be about probably 2 hours and 40 minutes or so. Alrighty. So, are we close enough? So let's look at what we got. Maps. Whoops, not maps. Airports. MD. Got 2 runways. Got one 9400. We got one 7600. What do we got for weather? 120. 4 knots. 120. So I'm saying we'll be 10. So if we have a wind of 120 at 4 knots, then probably we're going to be on a long runway. So 12, 10. I would say it's 10. It is kind of funny that when I was flying for real, I had such a hard time listening to a METAR and figuring out what runway I should land on. Now that I fly in a sim, I find it easy. But I remember I used to have like a chart, you know, where I would put in the winds and then the runway, and so, you know, the runways, and and now it's kind of like I just can look at it, and generally, I mean, unless something's really weird going on. Yeah, it looks like what do we got for weather? Oh, broken at 1,000. Oh boy. Yeah, this may be exciting. Where are we going at? 38 feet. So we'll barely be okay, but one thing I have noticed is, and whether this is in 2D or not, I don't know that, but if there's a cloud layer above you and you're kind of pretty close to it, then you'll get this kind of I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like a texture. It's kind of like a texture that's attached to your headset, so that when you move your head back and forth, the texture actually moves back and forth. It's kind of like, it's not dots, but it's actually a texture, and you'll yeah, it's weird. It's weird, and but it moves with your headset. And you kind of go like, oh, that's weird. What on earth is that? And I, quite frankly, haven't asked as to what would make that, or what could I change, because yes it does. Yes it does. At first I thought it was icing, you know, but I looked down and go, oh wait a minute, it's 29C, it ain't icing. You know, that's impossible, you know. I mean, so I've seen that, you know, and kind of like, I don't know what's that all about, and it does, it just seems to go away. So it isn't, it's annoying when it's happening, but it's gotta be something like that, so. But when you're like up in the clouds, I don't really see that, which is bizarre. You know, it's almost like when you're underneath them that you'll see that, so. All right. It can be. Yeah, I see, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because when you get frames that are too low, you can kind of get a similar thing where, or when tracking is poor, you can get the same thing where kind of like the scenery is kind of going with your headset, and it's like, That's disconcerting. So, let me think here a minute. 30. Okay. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Mike Delta is broken. Visibility is 7 miles, winds are 170 at 5 knots, cloud coverage is 2000 broken. 30,000 broken. Current QNH is 1017. Temperature 32.26.
Active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 18.
Really? Okay. Say winds.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf Merida International winds are 170 at 5 knots.
Okay. So you got two runways. I picked the longest one, and she said 1.8. So that ain't that big difference. So it's 7,600. So it's still a big long runway. So she said 1.8. Okay. So 1.8. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. Cheap dope. Yeah, we ain't quite close enough yet. Yeah, so like right here, like where this town is, I'm getting like a little bit of a shimmer. Not a lot. You know, just a little bit of a shimmer. But most of the buildings in there close, no, nothing. So, but it's like, and it's kind of like that. It's like when they're out kind of at that, kind of that angle, the ones closer are not, the ones further away are. It's kind of interesting how that works. So. But all in all, no, I'm great experience. Yeah, so we have a lot more scenery here. So my frame times for the GPUs went up a little bit. This was up under 10, you know. I'm not sure what this is going on. That's really weird. What the heck is that? That's crazy. So is it related to the weather we're coming into? Could be. But look how different that went. Let me look. Let me look over here. Yeah, that's crazy. So when I look over here, it's down around 11. But if I look this way, that's crazy. I love being able to look at this in VR live. And so you can actually see what's going on, you know. Yeah. But part of what it is there is a lot of scenery here. I didn't realize this, but there is a lot of scenery. So that's what it is. So if you're looking this way, there isn't. But if you're looking this way, absolutely. But even so, even looking that way, I'm still above 30. So it's like, okay, I'm good. So Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf report left downwind for runway 18.
Alrighty,
will
we're 8
report
miles
left
away.
downwind for runway 18 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Downwind 18. I'll let till I get about 5 miles out and get out of autopilot here and get ready to land. I was just checking, like just looking straight down to see if I see any legitimate stutters. I see just a little bit, not much. Yes, I have both. So I have X World America and Total Mexico. So I have them both. So this is some dense scenery. It could be. It could be. Alrighty, we're about 5 miles out. And 38 feet, so we're good. I'll have to look. So let me look here. Alrighty. Well, that's the runway we're landing on. I gotta go over here a little bit. Yeah, when I'm looking, I don't see double buildings, but that could be. But I'll have to look at my INI file and kind of see if I can see anything that. There's crazy. Check this out. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Got no idea. I have no idea. You're along for the ride too. No idea. No idea. But it is why I like to have my FPS VR with me all the time. So I can kind of look at it and go, when something looks weird, what's going on? What's changed? And sometimes you have answers, other times you don't. So in this case, I don't. Alrighty, so I'm a little bit too high. I'm going to come out here a little bit and spin around. And okay, interesting. Alrighty. So hopefully I can spin around here and find the runway. Well, let's turn. Maybe we can Oops. See if we can get the runway to line up here. Trying not to lose too much elevation here. I'm keeping reasonable speed. Certainly don't think I've completely lost the runway. There we go. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Alrighty. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 18.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf QNH is 1017, call turning final for runway 18.
Okay. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 170 at 5 knots, cleared to land runway 18. Cleared to land runway 18 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Come on. What is going on here? Okay, we will try that. Where's the taxiway at? Is that a taxiway? I think it is. Yeah, it's a taxiway. Hey, they're marked. When you're coming down the runway. Wow, that one really ramps back. Hold my word. They're like hard to see when you're like taxiing down. So I'm always like trying to slow down, so I don't like blow by one. So. All right. Parking brake. And taxi on. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, clear of active runway 18.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, welcome to Merida International. There is no ground control at this airport. Let us know if you need taxi instructions.
Okay. Guess I'm on my own. Looks like over there, maybe. See if I can figure out how to get there. Could bring out a chart, but that takes most of the fun out of it. Alrighty, that didn't go too bad. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you will. Let's see. I want to run into the mower. Not so sure why he's parked right there. That seems like an odd place for a mower to park. Doesn't look like there's a lot of grass here either, so. What does it look like? Looks like I can pick anyone. Let me pick here. I don't see any legitimate parking spots, so we're going to say that this is the one. Okay, cool. Let me see. We got that up. And turn the avionics off. Mixer killed. Power off. All these off. This off. So what do we got now? Hilarious. I got no idea what was going on before. That's just okay. So, alrighty. We're all done. And my next flight will be quite a bit shorter. But for everybody who stopped by, thank you so much. It makes it so much fun to kind of like flying along and doing a little bit of sightseeing and interacting with chat. Just so much fun. So, but like when I look at like this light post here, I don't see any shimmers at all. You know, maybe a little bit on the steps, that stick out, but the actual pole itself, no, not at all, not at all. So so what am I running for graphics? Oh, well, graphics. So this is where I'm running this headset at. So we got most of this stuff shoved up. But this MSAA, I have it off. And what I did is I run this down and it gave me enough headroom that I can super sample. So that's what I'm doing. And that seems to work. I haven't quite sure whether this should be checked or not. I don't know quite yet. Cloud quality up pretty high, up to the top. Shadow, just aircraft. Rendering distance high. World object density max. Vegetation in the middle. I do not draw parked aircraft. An airport is only the land. It's not to play around and not to stay at. So I don't draw parked aircraft. And I'm not using the zinc plug-in bridge. I'm not using it. Okay. I think that's it. So I'll just go, whoops. That's not where I wanted to go. Why did you get popped out? Oh, let me go here. So let's do this at the end. Edit binding. So for the valve index controllers, this is what I'm using. So it's basically the one that comes with X-Plane, but basically I've saved it, so I've saved it with my name. So if I go back, these are official bindings. These are what comes from X-Plane. And so the bindings for OpenXR, that's what's important. When you check the OpenXR check mark, then it's going to use this binding. So OpenXR for Knuckles. Official binding published by this developer. So then you can like view. So you can look. And one thing to kind of look at is this. Notice the trackpad. The trackpad doesn't have anything in it. You see the thumbstick? It's got stuff under it. The trackpad does not. This trackpad is disabled. Because what happens is that if you have the trackpad enabled, it basically does the same thing as a thumbstick. And it's so easy to touch the trackpad that basically it's like you're doing the thumbstick. And you're not intentionally doing it. But that's why that is disabled. So this pad here in the middle, this is disabled, doesn't work, is not used. And that's how you can tell is there's nothing underneath it. Where you see thumbstick, there's stuff underneath it. So we come over here, A button, B button, and grip. So the grip we use is a force sensor, and same way as pinch, gesture, skeleton, none of that stuff is used. So I'm going to go back to my current binding. This is the binding that I'm using. So we go back here, return the game. All right. So with all that out of the way, we're going to call it a day. And all in all, I was pretty happy. Went a little longer than I planned, but pretty happy with with everything. And like right here, it's sitting at this airport, which is a lot of stuff here. No, we're good. We're good. So, thank you much. You have a great day. You too, Iowa. Thank you so much. And if you enjoy this content, please click on the follow button. So when I go live, you will be notified. And we're going to call it. Thanks much. Bye-bye.